fraudster. Like fucking in the whole of fucking Europe. I'm not making this fucking shit up. I was making crypto before anybody fucking else did. I'm now marked as a fraudster. I cannot get a loan, I cannot get a mortgage, I cannot get any fucking thing. For 25 fucking years of my life. Are you fucking shitting me? These are true fucking facts.
That's awful, man. I'm sorry to hear that. But do we have a solution I think ID's back now. But dude, you have to definitely fight in court for that. You have no choice. That sucks, man. But
Dude,
right now we're
I,
we're at the cusp of all getting fucked in the ass, and we're just
I
gonna
was
keep getting
sleeping.
fucked in the ass.
I was literally sleeping in my car. And at some point, I got a postal address and I got a letter from the overhead government. Like you're being written. I was a refugee in my own fucking country because my identity was just gone. I drove down to Amsterdam to the headquarters of the ABN AMRO Bank, which was my actual bank, and the guy who had his name in the signed email saying that my bank account got erased, frozen, or whatever the fuck. I demanded to speak to the fucking guy. The receptionist at first denied my claim to speak to the guy, so I just parked my fucking car in front of the office. Nobody's leaving, nobody's entering, and it will stay this way until I speak to the fucking guy that sent me this fucking email. And we can do this one way or another. You can send in the police, you can send in the fucking army. I don't give a fucking shit. I'm not leaving my car until the guy comes fucking out. I got a telephone call by Mr. Fred Breed. I still remember his name. He was on the first floor waiting for me if I could park my car on a normal spot. We had a 1.5 hour talk on how I could explain thousands of euros pouring into my account, which were not accounted to any normal employer. And I was like, bro, this is crypto. This is like Bitcoin. It's sort of internet money, and they didn't know jack fucking shit about any Bitcoin, any transaction hash or whatever the fuck SHA-256 address. And they were, I, I can look it up on my Facebook. I still have the article where my bank actually started showing interest into this whole fucking blockchain Bitcoin transaction hash thing, and they were like skeptical at first, and all I got was a fucking lousy bouquet of fucking flowers. Not uh my funds were not restored. My car, I lost everything. I literally lost fucking everything because you can't pay your rent, you can't pay your insurances, you can't pay your, you can't do shit. You can't pay your groceries. Like, what are you supposed to do? Go loot and steal? What? You tell me. What would you do? I found ways to make money. And trust me, I didn't go loot and steal and rob people. Trust me. But time for hard. Waking up in your knapsack, like minus 10 degrees outside. You got a fucking ticket on your window for staying somewhere that you shouldn't be. And at some point, I got so many tickets on the same parking spot that the police actually got to know me. And they were patrolling some night, and my car wouldn't fucking start because my battery died. These motherfuckers got me 2 hamburgers from the next fucking McDonald's because they felt sorry for me for writing so many tickets. But they had to because it's their job. I was illegally parked, but it's the only place in my hometown where I could stand without anybody bothering me. Imagine that, people walking their dog in the morning, seeing somebody sleep in the backseat of the car with Dutch license plates. Hey, and I got back to the position where I'm at today. And I did it without fucking crypto. I had to use fucking illegal ways to start working legal jobs again. Use somebody else's bank account to have my salary deposited there, just to make some money to get my own ID card back again, my passport back again, because everything expired. And when you're not registered in the Netherlands anymore, you have to go to the immigrant office. So there I was, being a Dutch guy, being from my native town, being at a fucking immigrant office. You know how that feels? Bet you don't, because it feels like you're a fucking nobody. Like fucking, you gave your life for this fucking country, and at some point you're just nobody. Your social security number, that's your fucking slave number. And that's the turning point in my life where I was like, fuck this shit. Fuck this whole country. Fuck this whole government. Fuck it all. I'm gonna fight for myself and nobody else. And you can say what you want about me, but please, please, please take this to your heart. Once the government gets control of you, over you, you're fucked. Be free.
Well said. I wish more people would understand that, because there's no turning back out of that one. If we let them more and more and more.
When I started with Bitcoin, you maybe have heard the story once, or maybe twice, or maybe 3 times. When I started mining Bitcoins, I was on Bitcoin Talk forum, and there was this Dutch guy. He offered an Antminer S2, and I was like, yeah, I have to get it, but I had to bear too many, so I called a cab, and this taxi drove me to Delft. I was like, yo, bro, wait here, I'll be back in 5 minutes. So I got in with this cardboard box, and he saw it's like, I don't want any pets in my car, blah 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 blah. I'm like, bro, this is not a pet. So I opened the box, I got this miner out. So he saw this bomb kind of thing with wires and shit sticking out. He's like, what the fuck are you? I'm like, bro, this is a Bitcoin miner. This is next generation internet money. This guy runs his own cab company with 5 of his own cab. He called it with an E for electricity. Tesla. He was the first guy in the Netherlands to start his own cab company running on electric cars, running on fucking bitcoins. Like, what the hell? And people just let my employer at that time. I was like, yo, Mark, you gotta check this out. There's QR codes. You can order skippers being paid through QR codes. And he's like, yeah, fuck this shit. You're being nuts. I was standing at my planner with, I still have them here, right in front of me. 2 video cards that actually burned down from overclocking. I was like, I know this spot. Can you send me to an address near X town? Because there's this shop down somewhere, and they sell these specific graphics cards. And he's like, are you mining those fucking bitcoins again? And they were like maybe trading at $50 at the time. Look where we are now. People said I was crazy. They always say that. Here we are.
To add to what Famous was saying earlier, I don't know what the answer is anymore. Because at one point I agree that what we needed to do is exactly that. It was like we're a merit-based community, so we go by results. And if someone's quote unquote an influencer, or they need to have some type of results or or a good call or something, you know. if it's price, if it's on saving on taxes, if it's on the launch of the chain, buying the all-time low, taking advantage of die. I mean, like there were so many plays that we talked about in the spaces through 2021, and it seems that we were being told all these other routes to go, and it was. I mean, it took a lot of capital from our community that now we could have been deploying for the last 18 months. So,
bro, how much Hex got sold at all-time highs and then put into their pockets to never come back to the community? You know, hundreds,
that was
like
a lot.
over $100 million,
That was a lot.
bro. That's money that could have been,
Yeah.
put back in at all-time lows, right?
I think that's why I was having so much issues back then, because every time that there was like a new SAC or a new, place that where the funds were going, I would go into the spaces and freak out on people. And then I was like, but what? Why are you freaking out, bro? Like, this is great. Adoption and blah, blah, blah. And then buzzwords and, add your buzzword here. And I was like, guys, but this is money that's already here. It's already here. The difficult part in crypto most of the times is to get your money onto your side. So once you have it on your side, you won. You like, what else do you want? But I don't know.
ID, I started following you when you started criticizing the sacrifice projects and all the other shit, and there were like OGs. When you started dating Jess, like, beware of this guy.
There you go. Around that time, exactly.
You know. That's why I sent you all the staring eyes. Because I cared for Jess a lot, of course. Everybody does. But they started literally slandering you. And I didn't even speak to you. I only listened to your voice. I knew who you were. I knew you had the name in the space. But they started like, fucking, hey, you care for Jess, right? You care for... And I was like, what the what? They gave
bro.
me this look of you like being the bad guy who was trying to like fucking slaughter the Hex and Pulse chain. And I was like, at some point that this whole click came. I was like, huh? Hang on.
Yeah.
We have to 180 degrees to this shit because you are all the
Mhm.
fucking bad guys.
Because I mean,
Like,
at that point, my whole thing is I was ready to promote all kinds of projects, all kinds of sacrifice. I mean, I know that we need, we need DApps, we need users, we need volume, of course. But my whole thing was the first 3 to 6 months, let's 100% focus on Pulse. And I remember it seemed that all the focus was on, let's do what is that called, a meetup or a conference for Pulse Chain. Well, the effing network's not even out, so why are we even focusing on that? And then, or let's just give money to this other sacrifice or whatever. And I was like, all right, well, all this money that is not going to be there at the start or at the all-time lows. Because when I was doing the video, even the one that I did about the price of Pulse, that it did sound, and I've seen it a couple of times now, and I've said like, oh shit, I did kind of sound like I was funny. Like I was like, oh shit, this is going down, like whatever. But in reality, what I meant was like, guys, I'm super bullish. So if I see this thing go down, that's just opportunity. That's just you're getting a discount. That's just you're buying more for the same that you were putting in sacrifice. Or if you were getting 10,000 units for $1, now you're getting 15,000, 20,000 for $1. So it's not that it's FUD. It's just you're getting 2 times better. So if you believe, yeah, bro.
No, sorry to interrupt you, but you are as much as OG as I am, as far as we are quote unquote OG. You have met Jess actually Gwyn in real life. I mean, you guys dated together. That being said, as for a fact that I sent her the fucking bomber jacket. You may have seen it in person.
Oh,
But
Yes.
that being said, I was a Hexagon before the whole fucking Pulse X sacrifices and shit came out. When you guys started hooking up together, people started warning me from the Hexagons about you. Well, it's
Really?
just yeah, and
That's
these
bad.
guys that because
Well, I mean,
you are
I know
a
that
leader.
I couldn't have a conversation on main chat without turning. I mean, it would automatically turn into FUD. Like I don't
Exactly.
know what it was, but it at one point I couldn't say nothing on the main chat,
Because
and I
it's the
admit
truth.
that my views were negative, but I was just trying to take a contrarian side just to see, like, guys, what if, what
Bingo.
if, yeah, because when we would hit 20, 30 cents on EHEX, my whole thinking was like, guys, what if we go back down to single digits? So why not over at these prices take 10% out of our bag, put it on die. If we get through the fork on an ounce, then some of our purchasing power it will still get copied, but then we're protecting some of the purchasing power as well. That conversation was negative. Like you couldn't even
And
say that. And I was
you
like, guys,
forget
well, what I'm saying is that price go up, price go down. So if we're already this high, like let's try to take a little bit of advantage of it. Same thing when I
I
would tell them about the price of Pulse being down. And all I kept saying was, guys, on Hex, it happened. So a lot of people that
I,
were
I
all in on day one, they could have waited 30 days and would have bought 20, 30, 50 times more supply for the same amount. So wasn't that a good idea if they were so bullish on day one to wait 30 days? And that's all we were
and
trying. And then that was also seen as a, like a negative, like we were fudding or whatever.
yeah,
But it is what it is.
that's the whole
We,
funny thing. Because I
yeah,
knew Hexy Quinn since he was with Hex Luthor and the Joker. They were having the triade,
I remember those
the
streams.
yeah, and that's when I sent out 3 bombardiers to those guys. Joker claimed he never had his one. It's crazy. It ended up with Freddy, fortunately. But uh, since then I've been following Hexy and Luthor and Joker, of course. But at some point they started talking. I started following you, and people noticed because they are looking at what your fucking address does, your docs address. They are looking at your addresses that you use
Yeah.
in private. There's so many lurkers out there that I actually had to use a second Twitter and a third Twitter to be under the fucking cover and just see what's going on here.
That's
I'm
funny.
not fucking shitting you. I still use those. I'm not fucking warrants anymore on fucking Telegram either. I
I've
went
been staying
undercover
away
because
a
I'm
little bit from Telegram. I was real active on Telegram before, and now I barely use it.
yeah. I
Mm.
steer away from it. I do what I have to do and then just fuck it.
It's just
Fuck it.
it can turn really, really toxic though. That's the problem. And to use your time.
People were saying, yeah, he beat Quinn up and shit. I was like, what? Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't you hear?
Oh, I remember.
And that's why I
Yeah,
sent
I
you
remember all those conversations
you,
because
you
I mean,
you
people were
remember me
thinking that I
being
was
hostile to
fudding.
you? Yeah,
Yeah,
I was being
I
hostile to
remember.
you, bro. For real, I liked you at first, and then at some point the whole table because I was being influenced by influencers. Like
Yeah.
what the fuck, IDB guy?
Yeah, because I just at one point I got really loud against influencers and all that because my whole thinking was almost the same thing that a famous was saying. So it's almost like we like to claim that we're hexagons, but when we had to stand up against something that is not going against, or I mean, it's going against our community or it's ruining a couple people, and then at that point, oh well, no, we want to be liked or we want to get clicks, and sometimes the truth, sadly, it's not like popular or it's not like the I don't want to say it's, yeah, I don't know, but it's just I've noticed that if I'm loud about something, even if I have the best of intentions. Because I mean, I remember the first time that got me really, really issues was at the end of 2021 when I went against Liquid Loans, because I'm a fucking crypto tax expert, guys. Like, so I knew all this stuff. And then some of the stuff that was being shared either on Maddie's show or on Coffee's show or some of the other shows that we're talking with Jassy or Walrus or this or that, I was saying, guys, this is not the way it is. So it's like, why come up with all these like woulda, coulda, maybe, hopefully this happens, the other shit, when I already know what's going to happen? I've seen it. I have customers, I have clients that use Liquidity, so it's
Hey,
not like I'm like this, like, what is that called? Oh, hey, Georgia. Here, one second. So it's not like I'm, like imaginary horribles, like Richard always tells us. Like, no, I've seen this shit. It's it's a horrible fucking parade. Nobody likes taxes. You know what I mean?
eh,
And like the whole joke of like death and taxes is because as long as you know your guidelines and all this stuff, you know the results.
you know
So
what the thing
yeah,
is, ID?
yeah, bro.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I got to learn the Joker and Quinn and
Mm,
Luthor when I was still married, and I used to watch extreme and shit. And my now ex-wife, she saw a blonde girl with she look good looking, and she always used to downgrade herself. Keeping a long story short, uh, she, uh, Jess, I always liked Jess, and it's not like uh, a special way. She's just a Mexican, you know. I sent her 3 bomber jackets, but people noticed me being active on their YouTube channel. So when you and Jess got engaged, they knew that, how you say it? I'm not trying to downgrade her, but she's
mm.
easy to convince on some things. If you show her something, she would easily fall for it. Let's be honest on that. And people found a way to use
Mm.
her as a sort of a joker playing card to, like, you were outspeaking the truth, and
Mhm.
people didn't like your opinion, so they used her as a sort of joker card, like the actual fuck, like, yeah, this guy is beating Jess up. He's actually giving her blue. We all know what happened to her kid and shit.
Right.
And he's not treating her son right. Blah 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 blah. You start forming an opinion, based off internet and not really being in contact with you and either Jess. Because if you send Jess a DM, it might take 3 weeks for her to respond. So you start forming an opinion, based off the fucking Twitter.
Yeah,
So
that's insane.
that,
I
that's just
noticed that
crazy
part
part
too.
that the
That's a good
post-chain
point.
maxis, or sorry, not the post-chain, the hex maxis do to each other. They actually try to fuck each other over in order to save their own bags. Because if you step over to another coin, you
Mm.
might sell your hex bags. And beware if you do sell your hex bags. Or you're fucked for life. They're gonna burn you at the cross.
You know what? But I thought that was the case at one point. But I mean, like, it's just some of the people that have done that lately. I feel that it's almost like a whole different narrative, though. Like almost like they don't even have
Yeah,
the bags that they claim they do, or because it's
exactly.
just like the incentives seem different. You remember in
And that
2020
that
how like
y-
everything felt like, but you remember 2020, right? Like how it was almost like everything felt like volunteered, or like how we're all hanging out in the same places because we're all pumping our own same bags and we all have the same 5 year, 2 year, 10 year type, you
and
know,
to
mindset.
go
Oh,
to do a little rewind on Stylo and Famous, wasn't Kareem the head of the CEO of social engagement affairs at the fucking
so what?
Staker app? Staker app.
Oh shit! Really? Like I don't know. I know at one
Oh yeah.
point he was talking a lot about it, but I know that
Head
they
of support.
had this whole head of
He was
support.
recruited by
I know that at
OHS
one point they were
personally.
talking about some referrals and all that. So like
Mhm.
I didn't know who was being incentivized by referrals and who was working with them and who was. Later, I ended up hearing that
And
there was no referrals or something.
let me ask you this: who got their actual referral payments from the Staker app?
I ended up not even trying them. So I got lucky because I've heard a couple of people that told me that they were still waiting on those.
And
But
yours
I mean, personally, I
or
almost
what?
went the same route as the original AA referrals. You remember how the AA referrals you had to share your address? Well, I didn't want to share my address, or I mean, like the address was right there, pasted in the URL. Is what it was. And instead of
I
I wanted like nothing to do with it. So I was just using self referral for everything. Mira, yo llámame aquí no hay, tú sabes que aquí no hay regla.
Amor mia. Yeah, but you guys were talking it was so beautiful what you guys were talking about. I didn't want to interrupt. I just wanted to be, first of all, happy birthday, my friend.
Gracias.
You are an incredible you know how much I care for you, you know I love you. We're friends, you know, beyond the borders of here of the spaces. And as a woman, I have nothing but good things to say about you. I know that guys, if women are fighting for a man, that means there's something they want. And trust me, there's a lot of women out there. I got out of the way. I was like, dude, don't get me into this. I, to me, you are so amazing and so valuable that I'd rather have you as a friend than any. No, it's not like nothing's going on, guys. You know, I'm only Richards, but
like started to get him in trouble.
no, I'm not getting you in trouble. You know, you will never know about me.
Yours weekend scroll.
I am Richard Hart's girl, even though he breaks my heart every single day. But it's still, actually, I'm not. I'm someone else's, but I'm not gonna tell. But anyway, what I wanted to say is that thank you, ID, for always being dreadfully honest. And sometimes, you know, a lot of us don't want to hear it because we know that it's true, and many of us have, not many of you, I'm still not having courage to stay my real, you know, thoughts, what I really think, because, you know, I'm a girl. I'm always very cautious, but we need people like you. We need people like you, dreadfully honest and not afraid to speak up and not afraid to confront the monsters. We have a lot of monsters going on around us. And if it wasn't for people like you, Style of Famous, War, and a lot of people out there, I'm just mentioning you guys because you're on the stage, that fight those monsters for us. So thank you so much. Keep doing it. I'm here because I want to support, because I want to at least show my presence. Maybe I'm not that wise about talking about crypto, but I'm wise talking about other things. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. Wishing you, you know, health, first of all, love second, because, you know, that makes your brain and your physical work all together, all that chemicals things going on. And of course, I wish you a lot of money, because, you know, that will be amazing. The ultimate goal. Warrants, your story that you shared with us was so inspiring. Thank you so much. I really had tears coming down. It was very inspiring. Thank you. And you, Stylo, and Famous, and Sean made me laugh so much. We were at a different space earlier, and guys, you all of you light up the fire again, because some days, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, I'm sure there's a lot of people who feel like their energy and their desire and their motivation is, you know, it's out the door when you see things going on, and you want to not believe. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I a lot of times I look the other way, and it shouldn't be like that, because there's a lot of, I need to protect what's mine, and we all need to protect what's ours, and that's what you do, ID, all the time.
Right.
And I know people don't like it, and I know people get, you know, upset, and they get I don't know, defensive. But you're right. Until we need to stop feeding the monsters. The monsters are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's not going to stop. But one thing we need to do is that if you don't like what you see, step forward and do it better. And that's something I am, Georgia, working on. I need to do things better. I'm trying to figure out and reinvent myself and see, okay, which way do I go without, crossing the limits of my, without being betraying my goals and betraying my standards. How do you call it? My things that I believe, my beliefs. So
Georgia, can I ask you?
yes, sir.
Do you think that the people that are actually wearing the hex and pulsing badges right now, like 80% of them, are financial influencers? They're not
Absolutely
here to
not.
care.
No, I don't think anyone. They're influencers on their own bags. That's what I
Yeah,
think.
they're finfluencers, as we call them in the Netherlands. Financial influencers. They sell
Yeah,
their own
some.
bags,
You know what?
and they
Some
don't care
people.
about the.
I'm gonna be honest
Yep.
with you. Some
Yep.
people have no. They don't know how to get out of that. They want to do better, and sometimes you need to dance with the devil in order to do whatever you are supposed to, or your ultimate goal is. And I feel like some people have the right mind, the right heart. Their heart is in the right place. Unfortunately, is with the wrong people. I'd rather be alone. I'll be honest with you. I'd rather do my own thing than being like having to choose one thing or the other one. I want the ultimate goal. I want all of us to
Yeah,
be successful.
exactly.
That,
That's what I
that's
want.
why I said. That's why I said like 80% of the badge wearers
Yeah.
are having bad.
But then I think, wearing a badge. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I got the badge, it was Hexlina Pulsalot who asked for my badge. I didn't even know. Are you kidding? I'm not gonna pay $500 for a badge. Are you kidding? $500 will take me like 3 weeks of supermarket. I'm not gonna be
He
spending
asked you
them.
500. Are you
They
serious?
used to
You
sell.
asked
They
me.
used no, not Hexlina. The badge that you or $300
Yeah,
some.
Yeah, it was a
Monkey,
bunch of money.
And
Monkey
then,
asked me $1,000 a year.
well, that you know
Yeah, because it
that
seems like that's what it was, that everyone was getting like a different rate. That was what at least that's what I noticed. So like someone could ask like 200, someone 500, someone 1,000. Me personally, I didn't like the way that was happening because it became like some type of popularity contest.
exactly, and it
When
discouraged you, and you've
right,
been doing so much, and it's like, dude, do I belong just because I have that? Okay, you're a Girl Scout, you got your
right,
badge. If not, you didn't
exactly,
you didn't do the right thing. You
exactly.
didn't get any rewards. What do you mean? I know
That's
what you mean.
exactly how it felt. And the word that Warren said, financial influencers, or I don't know what kind of word you use, Warren, but he said something specific.
Finfluencers.
Right. So you
Finflu
figure that if it's
Finfluencers.
someone that's been in hacks and locked their money, have seen the interest, saw it at 150 APY 2 or 3 years ago, can talk about it today at 88% APY, they're still locked receiving Hedron at 10x bonus. I think that's someone that can talk about this stuff because they're seeing it every day. You can go to the FN blockchain and be like, yeah, this thing is like paid me today 8 hacks. Oh, look, people emergency instinct. I got paid 9. Or you know what I mean? Like I remember, and this is going to sound very selfish or douchey, whatever. But how many debates I had in 2021 that were like mind dumbing debates. And now I'm understanding that the people that I was debating didn't even know what the fuck I was talking about. They had not locked the thing. Maybe they had the ERCs unlocked. And then they're like, oh, yeah, you're not making this. Or there's no way that you ever made more than 100 APY on Hex. And then you're like, wait, what?
What
Like, I can lock it. I can look at it. The thing is right there.
you know what?
Or,
And
or,
and
or
Yeah, it was what really gets me upset is that people is using the name of Hex and Pulse Chain as it was theirs. It's ours. And there's nothing wrong
Yes.
there's nothing wrong don't take me. I really want to support the people doing events and doing things that, but be honest with me. Don't bring me into an event and tell me it's about Hex. Like, I was very open on the Hex conference the last time. Remember when I opened my I had the Hex logo on me, because I feel like, dude,
Yeah, that was
I
so good.
was I was brought
Orange,
into a
orange, orange.
yeah, I was brought into an event, and it was supposed to be about Hex, and we were
That was the
promoting
only
everything
few
else.
minutes that I watched out of that event.
Yes, yes, thank you. My ratings went up so high because you were there. Thank you. Idea and I is probably the only one who's I have a lot of supporters here, but it's like I have to be very careful, because if I speak out my mind, I will get, doors will close on me, and my doors, I'm not strong enough yet in order to say, okay, that's me. What I,
Oh,
but
yes, you are.
obviously, listen, but obviously, what I said matters, because when someone blocks you, that means that your words are, are strong. They can get hurt because of your words. So, hey,
Jo-
I always take the positive thing out of things. There's nothing
Georgia,
wrong. Yes.
can I ask you, what's more important to you, your 5,048 followers, or you speaking your own true mind? Because I started speaking my own true mind, and I got blocked by all the fucking OGs, CCFX,
Yes.
Hexarsologists, all those motherfuckers, and I don't give a fuck. And I think it's more of somebody cutting my own chains and being like when Richard unfollowed me, I was able to speak my own fucking mind, just speak freely
Let me
instead of
tell you. Yeah, I know, and but in order for me to deliver the message, the positive message that I want to deliver to everyone, and the message of being welcome to everyone, I have to be very, very careful with the words that I choose. I am not as naive, or as, you know a good girl. I'm an excellent, I'm a badass good person. That is for sure.
you.
I can
You
tell you
have a
that.
special role. You
But
are Mrs. Hart.
I am Mrs. Hart. I have to be welcoming, because we have a lot of you guys fighting and throwing a lot of alpha. I cannot go to a space and fight people with facts, because I am not yet. I am learning from all of you. When I'm ready you know to really speak about numbers and facts, and I'm very new. You guys have been doing crypto for
But,
years. I'm only here for 2.5 years, 3 years.
but Georgia, that's the whole cool part. You don't have to. You don't have to. That's the whole cool part of crypto. You don't have to be part of the Tang Gang. You don't have
Oh,
to
I
be
don't
part
have
of
to.
the
No, I support it. You know what?
and
That's the approach that I took. I am not part of
we
one thing in particular. I am part of everything. I have all of you guys in this room are my friends. And if I believe that what you're doing, it's something that is going to benefit all of us in the future, I don't care if there's people who don't agree with you. I care only about what Georgia thinks. And if I, for example, if I think that War Ants is doing a great job, because you are putting in facts into your tweets and your stuff like that, I will definitely be here and I want to listen to what you have to say, because what all of you have to say will shape the way that I do things in the future. I cannot I am very important, not only because of me. I am very important because I'm everything that I'm getting from you guys, I'm passing it on to my kids. And obviously I will, like, yes, at the beginning you believe in everything. You believe in all the products that they show you on the shopping network until you buy them. And you're like, wait a minute, they said this was gonna like take the stains out, and it doesn't work that way. It's a piece of shit. And I don't want to use it anymore. I'm not gonna tell my kids to go buy that product because that product it's bad. That's what I'm doing now. I'm acquiring all the knowledge that I can from all of you. I'm doing my best to spread the positive, and you always need someone that no matter what, like a lighthouse, that's what I do, the lighthouse. No matter what's going on there, you're always going to have someone that no matter what you've done, no matter what you've said, no matter if you fought with me or you kicked me out of your space last time, that didn't happen, guys. But I'm telling you, I'm always going to be there for you, no matter what.
And that's the cool part about you. You are one of the open-minded, and I cannot always attend those spaces because it's usually
Thank
too
you. I
late
appreciate
for
it. No, I
for us
appreciate it. I know.
Europeans. Yeah,
I know.
but
And I need to change. I wish I had more flexibility,
it does
guys.
it doesn't matter, Georgia, because I can listen to recorded spaces, which is awesome. But most of the time, the actual live spaces are like 3 at night my time. Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously,
I know.
so I can't actively participate. But when I listen back to the spaces, it's always constructive. It's always positive,
Yeah.
and it's just awesome. And we need people like this, because and not speaking bad about Stylo and Mr. Famous here, but myself and us two like to bash and bang the whole
I
fucking
love that. And I
coffee.
love that. And I
That,
was so
that
entertained. I was like,
you know,
it was like, yes, I feel like I wanted to go in and talk and say, this looks just like an Italian table after dinner. That's what we do. We sit down and we like, it looks like we're fighting, but we're not fighting. We're talking and we're talking out loud.
like
That's what we
grown-ups.
need. But exactly, but you never cross the line and you listen to the other person. I think that's the most important thing. Listen.
Exactly.
Now, if I don't agree with what you have to say, I will just simply walk away and I will not give you my energy, my presence in your space. Because that's
Yep.
sometimes I can, not because sometimes or I won't promote it. As simple as that. Yeah, I might have. You asked me before, what is more important, the 5,000 followers or speak your mind? At this point, I know that in order to speak my mind and to benefit more people, I need more listeners. I need more than that, but I know there's something going on with the algorithm, whatever. But it is very important for me at this point not to lose my cool and to not to forget what my ultimate goal is. My ultimate goal is for all of us, not only George, because if you guys are successful, guess what? I am going to be successful. If Richard succeeds in his plan, I am going to benefit. And I know sometimes I get confused. I say, wait a minute, this person likes Richard or doesn't like Richard? Wait a minute, I need to go back and listen to whatever you guys have to say, because sometimes that confuses people. But some people say that, that way because they don't want to, like, they agree with part of it, they disagree with it. Is hard for us on the outside. All I know is
Georgia,
that Mhm.
so no, sorry, continue.
No,
Please.
all I know is that I want to support each and everyone in this room and everybody who has, good intentions. Sometimes good intentions don't come out the right way, don't come out the way that we plan, but the intention was good. Unfortunately, we have people with really bad intentions within the community. I am not here. I am not a slayer to go and kill the monsters. You guys are the experts, the ID that knows about, who's an expert in taxes, Famous, who's an expert on math and knows what's going on. You that have been a Bitcoiner forever, you've been around, and many of you guys who are here. My job is to support you guys, to be here when you guys are tired of going and fighting the monsters, to say, you know what, good job, well done, come here, just let me entertain you for a little bit. I'll be the Bob Hope and the Marilyn Monroe together to entertain the troops, for you guys to take your mind out of, like, not everything is negative. We have an incredible project that I'm not fighting the people. I'm not fighting the people. I'm fighting for the project. I'm fighting for Hex. I'm fighting for Pulsechain. I'm fighting for the person who's out there. And I understand what Famous was saying before. There's a lot of craziness going around. Do we fight the craziness or do we build? How do we, what's the next step? What's the next step? It hurts. It hurts. It hurts to see, I imagine, gosh, how I was thinking about you, ID, all week long. And I was thinking
well.
about you put
Here
so
we go.
much. No, no. Don't take that out.
sorry,
Guys,
sorry.
gosh, ID is my friend. You know what? ID is my friend.
Here we go. You do
No,
that.
no, you know what? Take me out of the list. He's too old for me. I like younger. By the way. I'm just kidding.
What's your max? What's your
Dude,
max?
I'm young. Just saying. I'm
21?
young.
My max is 33. I'm just kidding.
33. What?
33. Half of the room is gone already. No.
Be flow. Be flow. You're still in the top row.
Beflo, it's no, he's
Security fun.
everybody.
You in, bro.
No, let me tell you something. You guys are all amazing men that any woman will be so lucky to have you in your life. Just being a woman and hearing how you guys fight for what you believe in. And that's one of the most important things. We don't have to agree. Sometimes there's people that I have as friends, and I go and support their spaces, or I just listen just because I might not agree with what you have to say. But guess what? I respect your desire, your fire of fighting for what you believe in. And that's something we don't have very often. Usually people follow the leaders, and I want leaders. I don't want people that are followers. I want my team to all be leaders. And if someone is not there, they were talking about, what if Richard Hart's not here? Who cares? It's all in the blockchain. Does Richard Hart have my kids? No, he could go and do whatever. He could disappear right now. I don't care. I do care. Trust me, I do care. I'm hurt, Richard, if you're listening. That SJ mentioned 7 times. I love SJ, but you messed all the girls on Pulse Chain and Hex community. All of us are probably they're not gonna admit it ever because they're too lady likes. But I'll tell you, man, you don't mention one lady. You just bring a flower and just don't say the ladies, or there is a lady. Anyway, but but anyway, today is Ida's birthday, and we're here celebrating that no matter what, we're still here. We're still here, guys. We could have been gone and go somewhere else, but we're still here. That means that there's something we want. So we want to be successful, all of us.
We want to celebrate.
We want to celebrate. Man, we need to do something. I'm about to do like a picnic. I don't have money, but I'm going to call it the Lighthouse Picnic. I'm not going to use Pulse Chain. I'm not going to use Hex name. You can do whatever. You can bring your own, I'm going to do a meetup at a park, and I'm going to put like a video camera
Right.
so you guys can join us in your own park. Let's do a simultaneous all around the world.
Georgia, thank you for doing this. But it's now 1:05 in the. Oh, sorry, 5:05.
Go to bed, and I know Chris will do
It's
that too,
1:40,
man.
39
Damn.
in the night here. And
Okay.
wanna
Do you want me to
podcast?
sing a lullaby to you?
No. You wanna party in the park. You know how people are gonna react to me having a picnic in the park right now?
No,
It's
not right
1:30
now.
at night.
It's 4:39 and it's almost dark here. No, eventually. I'm gonna be, guys, you missed my Christmas broadcast. I had Santa Claus broadcasting here. I don't know if you saw him.
I know.
You see, I had Santa Claus, and it was only like 32 people watching, but it's okay. But it's okay. I was going against Maddie Allen with
I
his like
seriously
800 people.
I seriously thought it was famous.
And what else? I'm probably going to do something for New Year's Eve, most likely. I don't want anyone to feel lonely or to feel like, and trust me, I guarantee you that in this room, there's a lot of people who are going to be like sitting in front of their computers on Christmas, on New Year's Eve. Because if I'm one of them, there should be another one too.
I
So
was.
hopefully you were. You see, a lot of people. A lot of people need that just to show. I want to show them that they're not alone. Someone cares for them, and I'm here.
I'm not alone. I can go visit friends, but they invite me to come over to their families and shit, and I'm like, no, I don't feel at home there, you know.
Yeah, I can't wait. One day, guys, will be like when everybody is like doing well. We're gonna be saying, you know what, the next meetup will be New Year's Eve, and let's all go to Once Famous is done building the. I think you're done. I think he's done building the 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 vacation hostel. I'm
Oh,
not
haven't
sure.
you heard?
No, I
You
haven't
haven't
heard
heard?
anything. No.
Famous is the owner of Sealand.
What is that?
That's like an old World War II platform built in the North Sea, and he
That's nice.
actually turned it into his own country. It's called Sealand now.
Sealands.
Sealand.
Sealand. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's famous. Please book December 2026. The whole month we're going to be there from the 15th to the 15th of January. We need a room for all of these people here. I'm sure by that time we're all going to be filthy rich.
I don't know about that. It's gonna take a few more years to complete, but
dude, I keep
for now,
checking. You know what? I keep.
for now, you can stay 25 meters under the seawater level in their prison.
In the prison? It's their
Yeah,
prison?
yeah.
Wow. Oh, I have
You don't
family. I
you
know
don't know the
nothing.
story about
I did
Sealand?
I did an episode on that. I said that if we were to get something like Sealand, we could start Hex.
Your mic is
Like
wrecked
that
again.
Sealand thing.
Your mic is wrecked. ID.
Ah, crap. Yeah, I might have to like close it because it's like now just getting wrecked. Sorry, guys. 1 second.
I know. Sorry, and I'm like, I put everybody's sleeping now. Shh. Welcome, guys. You missed yesterday. Last night I was at a space, and it was a witch convention. All of a sudden we got. I don't know if any of you guys were there yesterday, but it was Kenny's space. Oh, Kenny's here. It was quite interesting. We got Stylo scared and he left. It was that powerful. There was 3 Italian witches in the house, and we were talking about, they security. Were you there? Powerful. I'm a, I am a